What is happening, people? Welcome to another Formula One news daily show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Good Friday. Good afternoon to everybody celebrating Good Friday. Big up Jesus, as per usual. We are here to talk Formula One stuff, of course, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right into it. And as you can see by the thumbnail and by the title, ladies and gentlemen, yes, the Miami Grand Prix is in a bit of doubt. Why is that, you say? It's because the residents are in a last-ditch lawsuit for the Grand Prix to be cancelled. This is taken from planetf1.com. As you can see here, it literally the story broke today on this website. It's been breaking a few hours earlier into the late hours of the night before. But, ladies and gentlemen, this time round from John Wild, shout out to you. Look at that beautiful Hard Rock Cafe Stadium. Yeah, that is a fantastic stadium. It's a great restaurant as well, by the way. But yes, Miami residents, as you can see here, Miami residents are having one last try at forcing the cancellation of the inaugural Formula One race in their city. I mean, come on, guys. Why do you want to not have a race in your home city? That should be fun. Maybe because you're not sports people. Maybe because you're not Formula One fans, and you could not give a monkeys. Okay, and that's absolutely fine. Look, you were living there first, and now they're bringing a circuit to your place. It's not like you've moved into an area where there is already like a stadium or some sort of a circuit there. So that could be argued there and then. Let's go through the story though, very, very quickly, and do as well leave your comments in the comment section below, and we'll get to that. Please do like the video as well. So the Miami Grand Prix race weekend is scheduled for the 6th and 8th of May. Guys, that is literally around the corner. Like, when you talk about last ditch, this is last ditch. It's around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. When it will become F1's second venue in the United States, with Las Vegas the third from next year onwards. But many Florida residents have long since been opposed to the Grand Prix on the grounds of intolerable noise pollution. And even with just a few weeks to go and final preparations taking place at the circuit around the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium, they are not giving up the fight to have it called off. Who saw this little image here on the Twitter account of the Miami Grand Prix? It looked absolutely brilliant. We won't click that right now. As reported by the Miami Herald, a lawsuit from Miami Gardens residents led by Betty Ferguson, the former Miami-Dade County Commissioner, is seeking to block the Grand Prix. A decision has been set to be made early next week, although the Miami Herald quote Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge Alan Fine as having expressed frustration that a ruling will have to be made in such a tight time frame. I bet you would, mate. I bet you would. The basis of the residents' lawsuit is that the noise from the race would cause severe disruption and physical harm to Miami Gardens residents. They quote an engineering firm's forecast that the noise of potentially 97 decibels for homes up to a distance of 2.5 miles from the circuit would be experienced, similar to the sound levels produced by a chainsaw. God, I love the dramatics, don't you? The Grand Prix is still awaiting the issuing of its special events permit by the city, with Judge Fine saying numerous courts before me have resisted the temptation to jump into something that hasn't been issued yet. Shouldn't I wait to see if the city manager issues a special events permit? This is unbelievable. So there's not even a permit raid yet for the city for this race to be held. Listen, this looks like it could be some serious doubt. But then again, they may have not even got started on the Grand Prix if they did not think that they will be absolutely fine. We are in this limbo state prior to the issuance of a special events permit. It's a very uncomfortable place for a court to be. Sam Dubbin, an attorney for the residents, claims it's not necessarily to wait for the permit to be granted. They live in a bedroom community and they are entitled to protection under the law, says Dubbin. And here, I think this is finally, assuming it still goes ahead, the Miami event will certainly offer different experiences for spectators, which includes the construction of a temporary beach club of nearly 24,000 square feet, complete with pools and luxury cabanas. Luxury cabanas. What am I talking about? But one other recent innovation we at Planet F1 recently reported upon now appears to not be going ahead. The pre-race team principals parade has been deleted from the schedule. Well, this is interesting scenes. Thank you to those who to the Planet F1 crew for getting this story out. Here's some comments. George has put here: people don't like change, especially the elderly. They have nothing better to do and a lot of money. Not a good combination. I guess it's going to cost them quite well. Would it cost them, or would it cost like the city to raise the case? Andrew says most elderly people, white people, what's with the elderly? Like, we're just attacking them. I know there's the stereotype that a lot of elderly people live in Florida as like retirement places and so on. But I feel like at this central part of Miami, or maybe it's not that central, but it just feels like it's a bit too much noise, I think, for a lot of elderly people to live in. I mean, I don't know. I ain't got Scooby. Most elderly people worldwide have got a problem with racing, with car racing. I think they think it is stupid and a waste of time with rich white guys playing with their toys. Interesting. They would rather prefer to see guys would join them for a game of poker, which would be more fun and less dangerous. Phil says, getting a bit late, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I think, Phil. I think they are getting a bit late. What's the matter with these people? Again, with the elderly. In says, the elderly of Miami worrying about one weekend event, petty AF. All the more reason to go ahead with it. I mean, there's quite a few of you that have put some comments on this at the end of this article, which literally just broke a couple of hours ago. They have NASCAR every year with no complaints. Surely nowadays NASCAR is louder than F1 since the hybrid era. Good point. But is on an ugly part of town. But it's on an ugly part of town. This is Patricia replying to that. Ugly part of town. Same thing when they run 24 hours of Daytona. I remember when in the 80s they had IMSA running in the streets of Miami. I wish I knew what that was. But now they all have the geriatric. They all now have this geriatric people that don't like anything. Offshore power boating banned because of wakes. David Beckham football stadium keeps getting sued and delayed, but all for the rampant crime. They don't bat an eye. We don't care about children or old people, says El Plan. Old people politics and money comes first in F1. Money and so I don't know what you guys all think. I'm very I'll be disappointed if this didn't go ahead. Let me know what your thoughts are in terms of this Grand Prix going ahead. I think it still should go ahead. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. Big up to everyone that's watching right now. The Miami Grand Prix people could face some doubt heading into the next couple of weeks. And to think, it's less than a month away, this Grand Prix, okay? So it's actually quite tight. 3 weeks to go, but there isn't seem to be an events permit kind of given, a special events permit even given in the first place, which is a bit bizarre. And then, of course, you have the complaints. You've got another lawsuit coming for the Grand Prix. A decision is meant to be made earlier next week, so we have to wait and see. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think in regards to the Miami Grand Prix? Because this would be a great touch for Miami to have something, as well as all the other things that they're trying to plan. Apparently, David Beckham's stadium now is getting sued, and I didn't realize that's what was actually going on. So let me know your thoughts on even on like Inter Miami as a city, as a place. Should it have more events? I'm actually surprised that Formula One's only going there now. I'm surprised that there wasn't a football team there before. So I don't know. Maybe because it's had so much resistance in the past when it comes to hosting events. Yes, it's going to create noise pollution. I do have some sympathy for the residents because, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you've already lived in Miami and then they're bringing something to your place, I can understand why you might find it a bit annoying. But as somebody mentioned in the comment section, it's one day. It's just one weekend rather. Yes, there's going to be the pre sort of build up, and then obviously after the race that weekend's done, there's still things to do. But let's say 1 week in a 52 calendar week, it's a calendar year. Sorry, it's just a bit like, well, what are we really arguing about? Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on the Miami Grand Prix being taking place? Are you a bit annoyed about the fact that they're still facing late sort of last minute, court cases or lawsuits rather. Ahead of the cancellation. I mean, it would be a shame. I'd be gutted if the Miami Grand Prix now got cancelled, especially as we are this close to the Grand Prix weekend of taking place 6th to the 7th, 8th of May. I'm very surprised. I'm very, very surprised that it's still happening to this very late stage. And it looks to be absolutely epic. I mean, it would be gutted to not have that that Grand Prix there. Me as a Brit, as a person living in London, it'll be great to see more circuits and so on in America. I'd be much happy to see that. Shout out to everybody. To everyone that's watching right now, please do like the video if you like my F1 News Daily Show. We've got more news coming for you every single day. Shout out to Nate who says, can we admit, one second. Shout out to Nate there who says, can we admit that the track is pants though? I mean, have we seen it yet? Can we argue? Can we actually say that the track is rubbish? I don't know. I mean, yes, I am skeptical when it comes to street circuits. I just am in general. But I think, let's give it a chance. Let's see what we can get out of it. And it continues on to say, and other cities are more deserving than a racing in a car park. Yes, I would prefer a proper race track. I do agree with that. I do prefer that instead. But I guess let's let it see. Let's wait and see. When it happens. Do I prefer a proper racing track to a street circuit? Yeah, absolutely, I do. But I would love to have a Miami Grand Prix. If it is pants, take it off. No problem. There's no issues there. However, we've not given it a try yet, so I'm not entirely sure. Comment down below, people, your thoughts. Should Miami have a Grand Prix? Should the Grand Prix go ahead? It looked all exciting and it was all, looking lovely and whatnot. And now all of a sudden, we have got a lawsuit coming right at the end, literally right at the end. And next week, we will find out whether the Miami Grand Prix will actually go ahead. There's no permit yet been given to the city of Miami to have this race. So it's amazing how far sort of the development has gone in terms of when you see the pictures and everything. You see Miami GP's Twitter account. I think it's at F1 Miami. So yes, it's going to be very, very interesting. Do like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like F1 news like this. I'm going to be giving you all the stories that could be taking place. I mean, there's plenty of like wish-wash stories. I think at the moment as well, Uralkali formerly of Haas, are claiming their money back that they've poured into the start of the season. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's a bit sticky when it gets to all those contractual agreements and so on. It gets very, very messy. But the story today is that the Miami Grand Prix could be in doubt, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Simply because number one, there is no lawsuit. There is no permit being given to the city of Miami, and also there's just constant complaints from the residents, severe disruption and physical harm to Miami Gardens residents. Now, look, we know Formula One, it can be in a bit of a, it can always put itself in a bit of a problem here. When it comes to finances and morality and things of that nature, just like any sport. Now, will it be as loud as a chainsaw? I don't know. Will it, especially with the new hybrid era that somebody had mentioned in the comments. But it's very, very, very interesting. I genuinely do not know how they're going to get this through, if they are, because as they said, there has not been anything in terms of they've not been given a permit yet. Here's where it is. We're in this limbo state prior to the issuance of a special events permit. It's very uncomfortable to see, for a place to be in as an organization. So let me know in the comments below as we get through to your comments here. Thank you for everybody that's locked in right now. The Miami Grand Prix, people, is in absolute doubt. Let's see who has put in anything into the comment section here. Thank you to Nate. He's carried on here. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of this thing. Now, how are circuits being approved by the FIA when permits are agreed and tracks aren't even finished? This is a money grab. Yeah, it always puts itself in sticky situations when if you just sort of this is the thing with Formula One and with most sports. The questions are how. Definitely why are circuits being approved? Why are things actually being done? I think it's that thing of, they've got assurances that it will go through, that it will be fine. I can't think of a Grand Prix unless you guys can comment in the section below, of a Grand Prix where they kind of went very, very last ditch at quite at the end. Shout out to Malcolm Tan, big up yourself. He says, nice to see a black brother watching Formula One. Hey man, I've been watching Formula One since 98. I want to say 97, 98. My earliest memory of Formula One is Jacques Villeneuve winning the title for Williams. But yeah, thanks to my dad, who he had Formula One on every week, and it was one of those you kind of just sat there and watched it on a Sunday afternoon in the UK. But yeah, man, and I can see that you're a Gooner as well, top man, Gooner as well over here. Big up to the Arsenal. We are talking Formula One today, so I want to carry on with that. Big up to Stephen. Hope you are good. I think Miami Grand Prix has potential of being as good as Azerbaijan. Plus, the race is only an hour flight away from my house, so I would hope that they don't cancel it. Yeah, I hope you have a good time out there in Miami. Hopefully, you get to go to the circuit there. That would be great stuff. IndyCar had a Miami race back in the day, but I'm pretty sure it was at an airport. So yeah, we've had motor racing take place in Miami, and has it caused problems? Has it caused a lot of issues? I'd love to see it happen. Give me 1 year. Just give me 1 year of Miami at least. And yeah, I hope they don't cancel it. I hope that the lawsuits sort of doesn't get approved. Get the permit, by the way, done, Miami. Get your special events permit, get that out of the way. And let's look forward to it at the beginning of May, where we can talk about some Grand Prix weekend action in the United States. Wasn't Jeddah finished like 2 days before the race week last year? I could be wrong. Jeddah was late. Jeddah was absolutely late indeed. And it still kind of went ahead, and they had to make some modifications. So you're absolutely right, Nate. Yeah, Jeddah was it got a bit of a cluster towards the end of it all. But yeah, here we are. We're at another circuit where more controversy is in place. I mean, to be doing lawsuits now is just outrageous. It's hilarious. So a calendar that was 23 has gone down to 22, and it could be 21 if the Miami Grand Prix doesn't go ahead. I'll be gutted if it doesn't go ahead. I want to see at least 1 year. I don't know if it's in the daytime or the nighttime. If someone can comment below. I hope it's in the daytime, because night races I don't mind. I don't mind night races at all. They're a bit overrated. But at the same time, it's like, I think Las Vegas is night, because that's really what it's about, isn't it? It will look absolutely epic in the nighttime. But yes, this is where we are. This is currently where we are at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. The breaking news this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are this evening, is that the Miami Grand Prix is in doubt. I can officially say that, can't I? Because there's no permit, and residents are complaining, and there's a lawsuit going on. So we'll find out next week on what happens to the Miami Grand Prix. Will it stay? Will it go? What are your thoughts? Comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel as well. With that said, people, enjoy your Good Friday. It's lights out.